If you want to know which town had a railroad track and a lake was put on top of it, be sure to watch to the end to hear the whole story. Today, I am exploring Detroit Lake and the town of Detroit and a little river called Brighton Bush. To get there, from the capital of Oregon, which is Salem, you're going to go 46 miles on 22 headed east. Very easy drive. You are going to go through Mill City, Gates, before you get to this town called Detroit. But in 1949, a dam was started and the town had to move to where it is currently now. But we're going to start off with the dam because you're going to get to the dam before you get to the town of Detroit. The Detroit Dam was started in 1949 and finished in 1953. Detroit Lake is 9 miles long and has 32 miles of shore. You can fish from it year-round, has lots of campgrounds and recreational activities. This lake gets drained every year to make way for the spring melt. And you can tell here by how high the lake normally is, by this gray line here, the water is normally up to there. So it's all drained right now. They drain it every year to make way for the spring melt from Mount Jefferson. But in August of 2015, this lake got really low in the summertime, and it wasn't supposed to. It revealed a whole bunch of stuff that has been buried there for years, including this picture on the screen is the remains of an old wagon that the locals probably used. So that's Detroit Lake. Flew the drone for a bit, as you guys see in the video, and I'm headed back up to the truck. I am currently driving back across the dam. Gonna take 22, headed east again. You're going to come to Detroit, but right before you get to Detroit, you're gonna take a left to go to Brighton Bush Lake. This is the Brighton Bush River that flows into the Detroit Lake. This area here all suffered heavily during the wildfire of 2020, which is about 4 years ago of this recording. So here at this little park I'm at, there's lots of picnic tables all around. So I'm gonna go down here as close as I can to the river. Looks like I can probably get pretty close, and then fly the drone for, aerial reference, and then we'll explore the town of Detroit a little bit. Yeah, it looks like the water, is supposed to come up to, these blue things, and it's pretty darn low. It's called the Brighton Bush River. It begins at the Brighton Bush Lake and flows all the way down to Detroit Lake. But along the way, there's a lot of other creeks and rivers that flow into the Brighton Bush River. So there's a ton of water moving. This is actually the natural course of the river when it's drained. This is the way it used to be before Detroit Dam got put in and Detroit Lake got created and a whole bunch of water got pushed up, as you see. Now, as you can see in the footage here, there's a lot of burnt trees. On September 9th of 2020, a forest fire from a neighboring town exploded due to a ginormous windstorm we had, and just blew this fire in from Detroit. It came all the way down to Mill City, almost to Mahama, Oregon, and then went north from there. We had over 55-mile-an-hour winds, which is very high winds right here. So it just blew the fire like crazy. This was in the peak of summer, so the lakes just got closed so they could drain them, and so there was a ton of people in the campgrounds and stuff. So everybody there had to evacuate, and that is why there's all these burnt trees through here now. So So, I've got my drone, drone. You saw in some of the footage there. So there's a little bit of snow up in the mountains here. So, need to finish up and quit getting out of a warm truck. Doesn't do me any good because after I'm done with this, I need to go hunting. So, I'll be out in the cold anyway. Detroit was a little timber town. Lots of loggers lived here, early 1900s. The town of Detroit was moved due to the fact that the dam was put in place, and if they left the town there, it would just be filled up with water. So it got moved to its current location. The town is now a summer vacation kind of place, so there's lots of people with second houses out here. Lots of Airbnbs, a convenience store, a lodge, a post office, and a few other little odds and ends like a gas station. But this town suffered very heavily during the fire, so a lot of the people actually were not allowed to rebuild or had the money to rebuild. So anybody who's now in here either had really good fire insurance or bought the piece of property from the previous owners and then built off that. So I'm at the Detroit State Park. This is a boat launch area. So, you know, there's all these little parking lots here. So as you can see, oh, there's a boater out there. The water should be all the way up to here, you know, but all the water has been drained, so somebody's having some fun. Alrighty guys, that sums it up for the day. The little town of Detroit in Oregon, it gets very busy in the summertime. So if you're gonna come here when it's not busy, come in the fall, winter, early spring. But once they open up these boat docks and people start getting the word, it gets insane out here. So I am currently at Detroit State Park, and this is also where I filmed the review video for this suction device from earlier this week. So that was where I was at. Alrighty guys, thank you for joining me on this trip to Detroit Lake, the little town of Detroit. Be sure to check out our other videos, and don't forget to subscribe for more content, and we will catch you on the next one.